Hi, I'm Pete Lockett here at DrumChannel, Secrets of the Pros, and today I'm going to be looking at a couple of different things. First of all, I'm going to be looking at some basic techniques for the cajon. So many of you out there are drum set players who haven't dabbled with any percussion, and maybe you're wondering about maybe you could get cajon in for some unplugged sessions and stuff like that. And it's a very useful instrument to begin to get some basics on, not only in unplugged type scenarios, but also in the studio. It's a great add-on instrument for overdubs, and I think the more things you can offer to a band when you're working with them in the studio or live, then the better position you'll be in to secure more work as time goes on. So the very basics, really, there are three main tones that we have with the cajon. We have it's kind of, if you think of it like the drum set, you've got the equivalent of the bass drum, the bass tone. You've got the snare drum, which in Spain they call the sharp tone, or we could sometimes the slap stroke. And then you've got what would be the equivalent of the hi-hat, which would be the muted tones. So the bass tone, first of all, is with the palm of the hand. Now, where you strike it on the drum is actually kind of different for different instruments, for different cajons. So each cajon will have its sweet spot. It's not like a djembe where you've got to go into the middle of the drum to get the bass tone. You're going to get the bass tone. Normally it's around here. Now I'm just going to move my hand down, and so you hear the difference. You can hear it's kind of dead there. And there it comes up, and you've got like a really nice. If you come too far, then it's getting thinner. So you've got to find the optimum place to get the bass tone. And it's kind of like this. Your kind of hand hits kind of flat. I wouldn't say your fingers are pointing up like this, but they're definitely not hitting the head as well. So it's kind of the hand, this part of the palm of the hand. With both hands, obviously, is going to be advantageous, but you could get away with just the right hand for the main, for some simple groove playing. Then we've got the sharp tone, or the slap stroke. If you've seen conga players or bongo players, you'll be familiar with the slap stroke. It's you kind of hit and hold on. I kind of think it's like this, if you bounce a ball and you grab it. So you bounce a tennis ball and you grab it. It's kind of that type of action. Very coarse, description of it, but that's kind of that type of action. And then you've got the, what you might call the muted tones, or the soft touch tones, which is in Spain they play more with the side of the fingers on the side of the drum. Some people play, just soft tone with the full hand, but Spanish people are much more likely to play with the edge of the fingers there. So let's just look at some 16th notes. We're just going to have right, left, and it will be the equivalent of so just bass drum on 1 and 3, snare drum on 2 and 4, and the muted tones filling in as the hi-hat would as 16th notes. 1 eander, 2 eander, 3 eander, 4 eander. Now the important thing is that you've got to get the differentiation between the strokes. So there's no point in having everything really loud or everything really quiet. It's all about getting the differentiation between the bass tone, the snare drum or slap tone, and the equivalent of the hi-hat. So with your knowledge of drum set, even with that basic idea, you could go a long way with some of the rhythms that you would know with the drum set. So basic, obviously, just playing different notes as the bass tone or the slap tone. Very simple stuff, straightforward, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So it's a kind of good way to get started on the instrument. To learn the instrument properly is a massive amount of study, and you have to really respect and you know, look into the traditions of the instrument, which would be, you know, the more modern Spanish techniques and the traditional Peruvian techniques. They're amazing techniques, and some knowledge of that is very useful in your development of technique on the instrument, regardless of whether you're going to study that music or not. But simply for overdubs and a bit of simple stuff behind a song or in an unplugged scenario, it can be quite useful to just have this simple approach.